just so you know, this is not the only time I do that. Do that upon entering every room. Just to know that I just let you know what you're dealing with here. Fam, here we are midweek, marching on. Do you know this time next week, we'll be sitting in suspenders, waiting the night before. Who's it gonna be now? Who's it gonna be now? Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, as per usual, the silence in Santa Clara, created by John Lynch and all involved in the Niners draft process, has speculation raging to near science fiction proportions. Man, with just 8 days away from draft night, the Niners community is bracing for what is still just a guess for the most part. Terry, we'll be taking your call to get your thoughts on several options, just to relieve the stress and go in some other direction just for a minute. At the Niners' disposal, as I said, on several options, the Niners' disposal on draft night 2021 at the number 3 position. Meanwhile, just to add to your anxiety, depending upon who you like for your quarterback coming up in 2021, or should I say the draft person coming out, which one's going to come to San Francisco? Via points bet. Vegas, don't do this. Oh. Mrs. Jones' baby boy Mac is once again the front-running favorite at minus 150. Justin Fields has a minus 105. Trey Lance plus 325 odds. Where you gonna bet your buddy? This is madness. And it's been shifting for the last 2-3 weeks. They don't know what to do with this. But these are just how people are betting. Meanwhile, Arden Key and Wayne Gallman, according to Ian Rapper, Arden Key and Wayne Gallman have been signed to 1-year deals. Arden Key is a straight-up bust. I really wanted him back in when the Raiders picked him up that year, but they talked about his off-field issues and a lot of other problems he has. So I said, maybe not. See, when you hear about those off-field issues, you have to take them seriously. A lot of times people say, don't worry about it. I know, right? Does Mac Jones have a drinking issue? So, I think said it was a number of years ago. Arden took those problems of his right up to draft day, and he's had them ever since for the last 3 years. He hasn't had. I think the guy's got maybe 10 sacks in his entire time he's been in the NFL. The guy was prolific in school. What happened, Arden? You couldn't let the juice go. You screwed your game up. Oh, come on, man. Wayne Gallman taken for Saquon Barkley with the Giants. You know what? That's serious. That is serious, and he's probably not camp meat. We'll see. According to, Jordan Reed, according to Ian Rappaport, former 49er tight end Jordan Reed is retiring, as you know. Reed is currently a UDFA after spending last season with the Niners. He missed 6 games in 2020 due to an MCL sprain and ankle injury suffered in week 3. If you go down the list of 49ers, a lot of people, that's why I call them haters, a huge contingent stop at G. Jimmy G, that's the reason why we didn't win no ball games was his, But when you go down the list, every other dude spent plenty of time on the IR. And Jordan, man, that dude, 6 games in 22, I didn't even know it was that many. But JR had an even more serious issue, though. Reed had dealt with concussions before joining the 49ers. Anyway, he missed all of 2019 season after suffering one from a hit during a preseason game. The lingering effects are reportedly the reason that led to his decision to call it a career. He told ESPN's John Keim, quote, I was pretty sure I was going to keep playing. I was feeling good about where I was at. But then I had some lingering effects and sought out professional help to get diagnosed. They told me it was not a good idea to keep playing. I agreed with them, unquote. I've slowed down on Twitter. I quit fighting with people. But anyway, a dude came on and said, we got plenty of tight ends. We got Ross, we got Warner, we got J.R. Reed. And I said, dude, you ain't Reed, and they haven't signed Reed. Well, they're going to. How you know? And then that's when the fight started. So, no, he's not coming back. So now we just got Charlie Warner, to back up George Kittle, of course, and of course Ross Dwelly. Reed underwent a brain scan at the Orlando Plasticity Center, and the results eventually convinced him to retire. So it does look pretty seriously. Reed continued with, quote, "If I didn't have any symptoms, I would have kept playing. Before, when I had a concussion, I would feel better afterwards, and I wouldn't have lingering effects. I'm okay with it because I know the reason why I'm making the choice is for family and my children, so I can be here for them. It's just time," unquote. And he's just right. Because, football is now. Life should be able to go a little longer. So good luck to Jordan Reed. And we need to tie it in. See, this is why I picked out the subject matter I did today, see. Because we already know the Niners almost have their way on night one of the 2021 NFL Draft. They do. Pending the decisions of the Jacksonville Jaguars, number 1 overall, the New York Jets, number 2. They've already been pretty much said, "Hey, this is what we're doing, man. We're taking Trevor Lawrence. So y'all can talk all you want to, but we ain't playing. We're taking Trevor Lawrence." But the Jets have not been all that noisy about Zach. So we'll see. So the Niners will have their choice of a freight car full of talent with that 3rd overall pick, no matter what. Following last month's trade, where the Dolphins to move up with 9 spots in the draft, it became apparent the 49ers were looking to land their quarterback of the future. Clearly, you don't do that many, give up that many assets. But then there's a lot of stories floating around that too. The 49ers never started out with wanting to draft that high in the draft, which should be scary for people who don't like Mac Jones, because the 49ers knew they could get Mac Jones. We go to number 8, we can get Mac, and they would have been right. Anyway, this draft class is front-loaded with quarterback talent, with at least 5 expected to be selected in the first round. Many project all 5 to be off the board within the first 10 picks. You've heard that before. With nothing certain as to what John Lynch and company will do when the Niners are on the clock next week, just for conversation's sake, let's look at 6 potential outcomes for the Niners with the number 3 overall pick. Roger Goodell marches up, and what will he say? 49ers select Justin Fields, Ohio State, 6'3", 227 pounds, 2-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, 2020 season stats, 2,100 yards, 36th, 22 touchdowns. That put him at 15th, 6 interceptions, tied at 69th. The majority of mock drafts now have Fields going to the 49ers with the 3rd overall pick. Fields is described as one of the top quarterback prospects to come out of this draft, given his athletic ability and accuracy, which, as you know, is the mean thing with Kyle Shanahan. Don't be throwing that ball all over the field. I got places I want you to put it. Put it there. My receivers are thinking, you're going to put it there. Put it there. So he's regarded as one of the most precise passers in this year's draft class. Justin possesses a strong arm to push the ball downfield and can stretch the field horizontally. He adds another layer to his game as a runner with the ability to extend plays with his legs, both in and outside of the pocket. I see you, Lee. Zeus, Zeus, Black, Zeus. It's scary between now and draft night. So Fields is going to get hurt if he doesn't get picked up. Next, 49ers select quarterback Trey Lance, North Dakota State, 6'4", 226 pounds, set NC2A record for most passes thrown in a season without, nada, INT. That was done in 2019. 29 season stats, played 1 game in 2020 and postponed season due to COVID-19 pandemic. 2,786 yards, 28 TDs, and not a single INT. Recognized for his high football IQ. Many predicted quarterback like Lance would thrive in the Niners' offense. With Lance under center, North Dakota State was known for their quick passing game off of play action, a staple in Shanahan's scheme. Everybody's got something Shanahan likes. Dude boasts a strong arm coupled with size and speed. Oh, a lot of secondary players know about that size and speed. The only drawback is that Trey lacks significant starting experience. He's been regarded as raw talent with a high ceiling, given time to groom and develop in the NFL. Consider another dual-threat quarterback. Lance rushed for nearly 1,200 yards in his 2 seasons in North Dakota State, and that is the most yards of any first-round QB prospect in the 2021 draft. And then there's Mrs. Jones' baby boy Mac, who's haunting millions of 49er fans probably across the planet. 6'3", 214 pounds, consensus All-American, and a finalist for the Heisman Trophy in 2020. I didn't even know about that part. 2020 season stats, 4,500 yards, he was number 1. 41 touchdowns, he was number 2. 4 INTs, he's tied with 36 others. Mac Jones, for everything that's bad said about him, his numbers say he is the shiznit. Look out. Kyle Shanahan has taken all this into consideration. It could be. It might be. The buzzes continue to swirl around surrounding Shanahan and his admiration for a quarterback that Jones checks all of his boxes. While he isn't as flashy as some of the other signal callers in the draft, Jones' quick processing in the pocket stands out amongst the competition. His mental strengths, accuracy, decision-making skills, and ability to diagnose defenses has Jones considered by some as the most pro-ready dude out there. Moment of silence. And then there's Zach Wilson, who may or may not be involved, but people are starting to think, man, don't be paying no attention to the Jets, man. They clowning everybody. We still know why. 6'2", he has 214 pounds, ranked second in the FBS in completion percentage at 73.5%. Third in passing touchdowns with 33, and 10th in passing yards per game, 307.7. 2020 season stats, 3,692 yards, third. 33 touchdowns, he's third. 3 INTs, he's tied at 21. Nothing is set in stone. This is pretty much live. This is being put out there. Literally nothing. And there's a chance that, although the vast majority of the national media project the Jets to select Wilson second overall, they could opt to go a different route to lead their franchise. Fields has also been tied to New York as of late. And why? Because you look at Fields as the polished, perfect product. Why wouldn't you consider him? Are you crazy? Jets, you've been in trouble forever. So, you know, you got to figure that's what's going on in their front office, right? Mrs. Wilson's baby boy was pinpoint accuracy and a natural athletic ability to throw from several arm angles. He reminds you of a lighter complexion, a lighter complexion Patrick Mahomes with his amazing ability to do weird things with the ball. He's also a dual threat quarterback who can extend plays with his legs. His history at BYU, working off of a boot action, his rocket arm and ability to create explosive plays inside and outside the pocket would make him an ideal fit for Shanahan. San Francisco West Coast offense. This is fun stuff. But as outrageous as it sounds, 49ers can trade down. Now, wait, let me finish it out here. The 49ers gave up quite a lot of capital to jump up to number 3 overall. Of course, Lynch and the Niners gang have likely zeroed in on a prospect or 2 or 3. And depending on how the phone rings on April 29th, San Francisco could feel comfortable enough to move a few spots back and still pick up the quarterback they want, which, in fact, if it is Mac Jones, you know they're going to do it. In fact, if you hear about the 49ers trade back to round 3, consider it a done deal. They're going to get whomever and then go get the draft just far enough down. Yeah. Or trade back up. Jones, it is rumored, could be as far as he could be a second-round pick. These are weird things, but you can't gamble on that. The 49ers, with their thing about trading back up in the first round, will it happen again this year? It's been a tradition ever since Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch got there. They could manage to do all of this and reacquire some draft capital that will allow them to pick another early-round prospect or recollect lost picks for the future. Because maybe they've thought about it after they've done it and said, damn, we went too far, guys. Let's see if we can get ourselves back into this. And finally, one more before we go to the phones. 49ers select, and this is my favorite, actually. I'm just going to tell you the truth. 49ers select non-quarterback prospect. It's not like the Niners invested 3 first-rounders to move up in the draft to select a non-quarterback option. That would be outrageously stupid. That would be insanity. But it's also not impossible. One of the most intriguing players in this year's draft happens to be a tight end. He goes to school in the Florida area. Goes by the name of Kyle Pitts. sits among the top 3 on many analysts' draft boards, and has been regarded as a top non-quarterback option in this year's draft. Make no mistake about it, this boy is bad. Pitts boasts a rare combination of size, athleticism, speed, and pass-catching abilities that allows teams to align him anywhere you want to. You tell him before he walks on the field, hey, Kyle, anywhere you want to go, baby. If you got a fish, just raise your hand up, and we'll know where you're going with it. I'll get it back to the QB. He's a generational player. You can already see it. He creates serious problems for linebackers and cornerbacks and possesses elite ball skills. He has drawn comparisons to Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. I wonder why they didn't say George Kittle. It would add yet another layer to Shanahan's creativity on offense. This option most likely is outrageously not going to happen, but it is still fun to imagine what Shanahan could do with a playmaker like Kyle Pitts. Him and George Kittle, them dual tight end sets. Bring back the days of Garcia and Gronk. Oh! Hey, the recovery 16? Larry Kruger from KNBR said he heard that Kyle had dinner with Lance's parents. You know it's serious when you meet the parents. They do this look out. Remember Deshaun Kaiser? Remember John Lynch did that with his family, his entire family. So, you got to be careful of that. Damian Lee, Ronbo, this is a great day of signing. Now all we have to need to do is draft O-linemen and corners. I know, right? Nothing else besides Trey Lance. Damian's he's Trey Lance guy. Mr. 16, Downey, Montana, what's up? Ronbo always checking in from the 818 question. What are your thoughts on Fields? Fields has epilepsy? You think his stock? Whoa. Is that true? Okay. Whoa. I didn't know that. Jim Thorokill. Hey, Ronbo, that's the reaction if they throw us all a curve and pick Ace. So, Brian Gump, the pick is Lance. Rich Eisen says he's heard it's Lance. The drama builds as we head toward April 2-9. And I put on my ears to say, Brittany.
What's up, Ronbo?
Brittany, I'm having fun with the possibilities. You see, because Brittany, everybody has a different dog in this fight. Well, not everybody, but you have large contingents of people have dogs in this fight. So, it's funny to look at all the options and then let it weigh on your mind and try to think like Kyle Shanahan, which, Brittany, by the way, is impossible. Kyle Shanahan's a very complex human being. How do you work your mind to fit where Kyle is and make a choice? Brittany, do any of these choices intrigue you, especially Kyle Pitts as a traded down option? Brittany, how you feeling on this?
First, I do want to say the thought of when Fields brought up he had epilepsy, that shocked me. Wow. That took me a moment to process at first. But I was like, whoever he goes to, I hope they take care of him very well so that way that doesn't become a serious problem.
Yes.
But the 6 choices, so far I have 3 in my mind that are a possibility that can happen, which is number 2, they can draft Lance at 3.
Yeah.
Or 5, they can trade down.
Yeah.
Or number 6, they can get somebody who is not a quarterback, which is possible.
Yep.
But as usual, people would say it's crazy.
Yep.
I don't think it's crazy because I've seen it done before.
Yes. You've given up a lot of stock, though. That's what people are going to get crazy about because you gave up so much to get up there. And, they might have got up there just to get down, though. See, because a lot of people are going to come up.
Right.
49ers, hey, you want to get rid of that 3rd pick? Nah, what you got to offer? Blah, 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 blah. You got it. People would be mad,
That's
Brittany.
true. That's also another thing.
Yes.
That's also another thing. If they trade down, before you see them trading down, but they also gave away a player in order to do that because last year they traded to 13 with the Colts and they gave away Buckner. And then they moved up to 14, and I think they just gave an extra pick, but then all of a sudden I think it was 23 they traded to with the Dolphins, and they gave Matt Breida to them. So
hey, was Breida part of that?
It's possible that they...
Oh, that's right. Breida was part of that deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right. Matt Breida was given to the Dolphins for them to go to 23 in order to get IU. So, I mean, it is possible they can trade down, but if they do that, they have to not only give away a pick, but also possibly a player. So that's a
Mm.
possibility that could happen. And
Mm.
I don't know, but I think the biggest thing is popping into my mind is what if they pick Pitts at 3, they can trade down and they can try and still get Lance. It is, or even Mac. It is possible.
God, it's a dream come true, Brittany. To get Pitts and Lance, this would be
And
oh my God, it'd be Disney worthy for the next Disney cartoon or story. My God, oh, I'd be,
it will be the
oh,
shocker. It will be the
oh,
shocker because it happened before. They have gotten two very good players from the first round. They have done that before, so it is a possibility. Anything can happen.
Brittany, don't let
Like,
Pitts and George be on the same field wearing the same uniform. I'll be in the hospital. That same draft night, boy, I'll be just laughing and crying at the same time. We'll broke a rib. We got the best
I'm
dual
just
tight
ready.
end combination in football. Ah!
I'm just ready to see the madness happen on Twitter. I'm ready to see what the madness is going to be like draft night. It is going to be hectic, but can you imagine that?
I can't.
Kittle and Pitts together and Lance?
God, that's just somebody would immediately draft.
Dangerous.
They'd immediately get one of them. Somebody would, as a strategic effort, somebody would try to get in there and try to stop the 49ers from getting that done, even if they didn't have that planned. Hey, let's not let the
Right,
49ers pick up Key, man. I mean, let's not pick up Pitts. Well, it must be something we can do,
right.
especially within our division.
But the analysts in the NFL think like the first 3 picks are a guarantee a quarterback. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know that for sure.
Yeah,
Like you
they
said,
don't.
Trevor Lawrence is definitely going to be one, but you can never be too sure. It may be Fields at 2. It may not be a quarterback at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is set in stone.
Mm-hmm. Because, Brittany, I got to tell you what
We'll
I heard
find
about. The
out.
Cardinals are going to go for Jamar. Brittany, if they pick up Jamar and they've got D Hop and AJ Green, Brittany, we need an equalizer. Oh,
Yep.
God, that
We
is
definitely do
brutal.
need an equalizer because the thing is with the NFC West, they're trying to get every single weapon they can to stop the 49ers because they know the 49ers are the biggest threat.
Mm.
So they do anything, whether it's former players, whether it's prospects, whether it's destructive weapons from different teams. They'll try everything in the book and trade away a lot of picks like the Rams and the Seahawks did to get these players
What?
to stop the Niners. But it's not going to work.
Jamal couldn't do it. Brittany, we're going to run out of time. That's been a great conversation, though. I'll see you this weekend, okay? And on
Okay.
Twitter. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, Brittany. Have a great night.
Night.
God, I didn't know that. Wow. You know what? I hope that doesn't hurt his stock, though. You know, that's really sad. Hey, John.
Ronbo.
John. Man, we got, we're hearing this. And it's funny that it took a lot of heart. I'm suddenly a fan of Justin Fields. That took a lot of heart and courage. Let everybody know. This must be recent information. Let everybody know that you've got that condition. So, there's no later on, we didn't know, because I'm hoping he'll be able to function fine. He's been functioning fine. He's done a lot of great things. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem. But, But what do you think about the options in that situation as well, if you like?
First, I found out from one of my subscribers on my channel telling me that Justin Field had epilepsy, and I thought he was joking around, and then I read some of the articles, but I'm probably going to get more on the detail tomorrow to see. But, football is a violent game, and if he has that, imagine, and I don't wish anyone, who has epilepsy anything negative, but if he's playing with the 49ers or in the NFL and he gets hit hard and that thing that triggers in the game, that's going to be a little bit scary moment. So hopefully, it
John,
doesn't really hurt his draft stock.
John, how much do you know about epilepsy? Anybody in the chat? Is that something? I know there's seizures involved, and measures have to be taken immediately when people go into those convulsions or whatever it is. Is it something that goes for like asthma for a minute or so, and they just induce a drug and stop it? I'm ignorant about epilepsy. Wow.
Well, I could tell you a little experience that I had. A high school baseball team was playing on on one of my parks because I live in the city, and just to keep it simple, it wasn't fun for the player, and it wasn't fun for all the workers and the coaches. So that's just my experience, how I saw it. But at the end of the day, I'm not a doctor, so I can't say anything about it. But that was just my experience, hands on. It's not a pretty sight when it happens. Plus, you also have to know how to deal with that. So, like I said, I'm not a doctor. Hopefully, it doesn't really hurt his draft stock. But one thing today, that I was listening to a lot of those experts on the sports channels, and Rich Eisen today, he was saying on his show that that he believes Trey Lance is going to be drafted, and then of course, last week Mel Kiper says it's going to be Mac Jones, and a lot of people, Justin Fields. At the end of the day, it's hard for us fans because, I'm a Trey Lance guy. I wish the Niners will pick him, and we'll see how, what's going to happen. But a lot of these experts like Colin Coward were saying today, it's Mac Jones to the 49ers, and he has real sources. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny for the next week. For the next week, we're going to be hearing the same thing. Oh, some guy says Justin Fields, and he has real sources. Some guy says Mac Jones, and he has real sources. And then Trey Lance,
they don't name him. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the 49ers are going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Whatever the quarterback is going to be, I wanted to say last time in your show, Raruna, I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. He said to calm down, everybody. Let's not be disrespectful to one another. But at the end of the day, you have a lot of passionate callers, and I want to give a shout out to one of your callers, Shay, who he sticks to his gun. So shout out to Shay, if he calls in. And then I also want to shout out this guy Big Show. He sticks to his gun. He believes Mac Jones, and I'm a person that's like, I don't hate Mac Jones. It's just the playing style worries me of the translating into the NFL. But he's not going to be garbage. I'm not saying he's worse than the worst NFL quarterback in history. But at the end of the day, I'm a Trey Lance guy. So you have your Mac Jones guys calling in, putting their case. You have your Justin Fields, people making their case, and I'm a Trey Lance guy, and I'll make my case. At the number 3 pick, it's going to be a quarterback. And, personally, whatever happens, it's going to be one of the most suspensive 10 minutes when that pick, is being, because a lot of people are like, oh, they better get it right. So that's all I can say about who they're going to draft at number 3.
Well, that's enough. And in fact, I've got no idea. Normally, you have an idea, but like somebody just said in the chat, this is going to impact decisions when it comes to Justin Fields. Whether we like it or not, don't appreciate it, think it's just awful, it is going to do that. So I feel bad for Justin. His stock may plummet behind this. Because like you're saying, people don't know exactly what they've got. How bad is it? You can't maybe get examinations now, but Justin can say, why? I'm fine, guys. Do you see me go through school? I was fine. I mean, I feel sorry for him now. I hope they pick him. Yep. Anyway, John, we're gonna run out of time. Let's see you this weekend.
All right, Ronbo, I'll see you this weekend. And comment, make sure you hit that like button, just like your boy Ellis. Like this, comment, and subscribe to Ronbo Sports. And just like Norm, another guy I like on your channel, Niners all day.
Thanks. Hey, click him up. He's got content rolling. You do it daily, I guess. Get on, John. All right. John, see you this weekend. And we go to Dre in the Bay. Dre,
What up, Ronbo?
Dre, man, It's funny because normally as I scan through the dailies, I run into this kind of news, and somebody just hit me epilepsy for Justin Fields. Now, if you're just down the down the totem pole somewhere, nobody's probably going to think anything of it. You got this far, you've had epilepsy for years, I guess, so nobody's going to
I
care.
mean,
But I said,
they
whoa,
don't because you have to pass
physical.
the physical in order to play. So I don't think they too much care. It's more of an irrelevance. And they taking shots at him the same way doing Jimmy before the man even get here. If he comes
Mm,
here, it's like knock it off. And to answer the question, I have epilepsy. I'm that person, yes. And the only time is if if you take your medicine and you eat healthy, you sleep healthy, you do all the healthy routines,
yeah,
you're good.
and he
I
does.
mean, it
Actually,
don't
he
take. I
talks about
mean, you it don't take nothing for it to trigger. Anybody to have a seizure out there playing that game. You get hit anywhere in your brain, you can get triggered to have a seizure. If anybody do their homework on seizures, that's the way that goes. And I wanted to answer a question of yours from your last show. I was kind of doing my homework a little late on catching up on your shows,
it. Mm.
but
Thanks.
you wanted to know why he left his last school because he got called a nigger,
Uh
and
oh. And just
that's why
use
he
the N
left.
word because that word is just so
Oh, I'm sorry.
disgusting.
I'm sorry. They put it out there.
But
Look,
wait,
they said it.
who's
They put it
who
out there.
who called him that as a
He said it
player?
himself. It was one of the students. I guess that's why he wasn't the starting QB because the starting QB for that school ain't even in the draft this year. And if he is, we wouldn't know. So, you know, that's the way that cookie crumbles. And there was one more thing I wanted to cover while I got you, but I can't wait till this draft is over.
I can't either.
Oh yeah, Justin Field met with since they said Trey Lance met privately with the 49ers. So did Justin Fields in
Uh,
California. But
uh,
did nobody mention that? But it is what it is. We're gonna have a bunch of rumors. We ain't gonna know
oh,
nothing concrete until Thursday.
they're gonna pick up in intensity between now and next week. Oh, Dre, it's
Right.
getting ready to get stupid out here. Watch, you know.
Man,
And Vegas is
I just
putting
sit
Mac
back and I
Jones in
take notes.
position again just to get things started. Make it,
No, I heard that the Patriots wanted him.
I figured as
The
much.
Patriots came out and said that. The Patriots came. They said it was Bill Belichick that said that he wanted Mac Jones, but who knows? You know. And then I heard that New York, they're kind of hesitant on Zach Wilson because
What?
they said that he don't hold up well under pressure. So
What? See?
that's why they eyeing Justin Fields. So they might want Justin Fields because he does well under pressure and Zach Wilson doesn't. So for all you Zach Wilson fans, congratulations.
Hey, Dre, with just you saying that much, he ain't coming to San Francisco either. Because you know what? What do we need another guy that's going to fold under pressure for? It is going to be
That's what
Trey
I said. We can
Lance.
keep Jimmy.
You know?
Yeah, I'd rather take Trey Lance before I take Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, a lot of people gonna bash me about that, but hey, ain't nobody gonna be what is his name? Patrick Mahomes, girl. Ain't nobody gonna be that dude. He's one of a kind, just like Tom Brady. Ain't nobody duplicate these dudes. They can
You
be
know?
equivalent. You can get you over the hump, but
Mm,
they're not gonna be these guys.
mm.
Not as we want them to be, but hey.
And Dre, if he was all that, he wouldn't have been all that just for one season. He was like 2019, he was out there. He played a whole real season. In 2020, he played an
Yes.
abbreviated season, and all of a sudden, look out, Zach Wilson is the shiznit. I ain't, and I don't follow college football, so I can't say I ain't never heard of him. But the thing is, all of a
Look,
sudden now
me
he's the
neither.
man, number two behind Trevor Lawrence. Somebody made a mistake. That is not right.
Somebody somebody was smoking the weed.
And Stephen A. is screaming Stephen A. Smoking that weed. You know, I
You know all about it.
it's it's gonna be a surprise Thursday night. Oh my
I can't
God,
wait.
such a surprise.
But I'm not. But I'm not gonna hold you, Ronbo. I know how I feel for all the rest of my faithful waiting in line on the phone. I'm gonna let you get to them. But
All right,
I'll see
fam.
you on Thursday, Ronbo.
Looking
I'll keep
forward.
up with
No,
the
I'll
story
be
before
back this
then.
weekend. Yeah, we got a couple of days for you now and then, but I'll be looking for you, Dre. All right, fam.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, stay safe out there.
Hey, you too, fam. My dude Dre
All
from
right.
San Francisco. And what Runa says, shout out to John J. Thanks, man. There you go. John, recognition for that. Shout out. Chill, pill, Phil, get in here, man. I want to. I came in tonight just to mess with people on the conversation sake. Guys, let's talk about some of the options. And all of a sudden, somebody says in the chat, "Yeah, Justin's got epilepsy." What? No matter what, you figure he'll be fine. But at the same time, you wonder what the GMs are thinking. This is a large money operation, Phil. Is that going to bother his stock? We shift gears now from the theme to Justin.
I don't know. I'm a Trey.
To begin with,
So,
right? So what's going to affect you one way or the other? I was a Trey Lance guy too. I just felt sorry for him because of this news. He was rolling along there looking like the best thing in the draft that wasn't named Trevor Lawrence. And now all of a sudden, poor kid.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm just glad it's almost over.
Yeah.
And then we
No,
can get to the
it's
and then we can
uncomfortable,
get to
isn't
the
it?
second pick, which means more to next year's 49er season than the first pick.
Yeah.
And I hope we get a corner. I hope we get a few players to round out the roster.
Yeah.
And I hope we have a great season next year. That's what I'm hoping for. But I don't think this quarterback that we sign or draft
It's gonna be the
is
focus
going to make
anyway.
a difference in next year's season. It's not going to make a difference.
Well,
So,
got a plan.
So I'm more worried about the second pick, the third pick, the fourth pick, 3/5 picks, etc., and rounding out our roster and filling in those holes that we have.
Speaking of which, what do you think about Arden Key and Wayne? Was it Galloway?
I think the running back is a big pick.
That's serious,
Good
right?
pickup.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy.
I think
too.
he's a guy. The other guy, the edge rusher, I'm not so sure about. He's had trouble.
Lots of trouble. Can't believe the 49ers
knows?
signed him. Yeah.
Well, but they're probably signing him for, league minimum and no risk and no signing bonus. So
Yeah.
if they cut him, he's nothing lost, nothing gained. So, I think this running back, though, I think he could fill the running back spot that we have open, and therefore we don't need to draft a running back in the draft.
Yeah. Because there's not going to, well, there may be a couple of running backs better than him, but in the draft, but they're going to be gone before round 3. I think, Phil, what round do you think? If you're going to go for a running back, where are you going to get him?
5th.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Phil.
Listen, how many running backs have made it in the 49ers that have been undrafted free agents? Almost all the running backs on the roster right now are undrafted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
Mostert, Wilson, and
That's
they've
true.
all panned out in Kyle's system. So we don't need to draft a high running back and make him successful. My take is I would go corner in the 2nd round. I would go corner in the 5th round. I get 2 corners because all of our corners are 1 year, 1 year contracts. So next year we're going to be in the same predicament that we were this year.
Yeah. You're right,
So-
Phil. You know what? Number 2 is going to be a cornerback just for that reason, and that even if it's just for that reason alone. We're going to have an empty room next year. Get some people in here now. So second
Exactly.
round, fifth round, you got 3 picks. You definitely cornerback's
And
going to
I would
dominate this
go
draft.
wide receiver in the third round. I think we can pick up a good guy to fill in for the wide receiver slot that we have open, and and then fill those slots, and and have a great year next year. I'm more interested in talking about the schedule. I look at the schedule for next year.
Yeah.
We've got 6 wins. If we stay healthy,
Yeah.
we've got 6 wins guaranteed. Guaranteed. Cincinnati, Philadelphia. We've got a ton of teams that we can beat up on, and then split with our division.
And we'd still
we've
be
got 10 wins right there.
Yes. And somebody's going to get swept this year if they're healthy, Phil, in our division. Somebody's getting swept. So
I know. So I'm looking at our schedule and I'm thinking, oh, we got things going this year. We could be a high seed in the playoffs, very high seed,
I feel
and that's what I'm thinking.
I just don't want to come in with such a weak schedule where we come in soft. But you know what? I like coming in with all them numbers. So we're going to find out. Phil, we're gonna go. I'll see you this weekend.
We'll see you next week. Are you going to have a call in on the draft day?
Oh God, yes. It depends on how late it is when it's over. But yeah, and actually, I'll be back this weekend
cares?
too.
Who
I know, right?
cares?
Nobody's
We'll
gonna be
all be
able to go to
awake.
sleep anyway. All right, Phil.
Right.
See you.
All right, Ronbo.
See you in a little bit.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye. Ah, and this is early. It is Niner Mike. Come on in, man.
Forget about it, Ronbo. What's going on over here?
Mike, man, I'm looking at all the possibilities because Kyle and John aren't going to let you know anything. They're not going to let you feel anything. You're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be able to just assume. They
Yeah, boy,
they play
I
games
wish
with
I
us.
could, Ronbo. I wish I could. No, I gotta say, it's. I'm glad we're down to what? Just about a week now, right, Ronbo?
Exactly.
Just
exactly.
about a
Well,
week now.
when you
and then
consider
we can
you go to
stop
bed,
all
you
the
wake up.
speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah, can stop all the speculating and all the bullshit. We can really figure out what it is that we're going to be doing over here, Ronbo. Because I got to tell you, the suspense is killing me over there. You know what I mean? It really is. It really is. The suspense is killing me. And I think for a lot of people, including myself, the biggest deal is because we gave up what we gave up to get up there. You know what I mean, Ronbo?
Yes.
If we were just a shitty team and we just, we earned the 3rd overall pick, like we had the 2nd overall pick not that long ago, If it was like that, I think people would be a little bit more, kind of relaxed about it. We'll see how it goes. But we put ourselves in this position, Ronbo, and now the bottom line is it makes it to where it's not like a normal draft. You know what I mean, Ronbo? It really isn't. Normally teams that are picking in the first 2-3 picks, they're horrible teams, and that's
usually
just the
rebuilding.
reality of it,
Yeah.
People could say what they want, right? But the Trevor Lawrence kid, he's got an uphill battle over there in Jacksonville, especially with good old Trent Baalke as the general manager.
Feel
He's
sorry
going to
for
surround
him.
them with a bunch of torn ACLs, Ronbo. You know what I mean? He's going to surround them with a bunch of broken guys. So he's got an uphill battle
with the burden completely on his shoulders.
You got Wilson. Yeah, you got Wilson going to be in the Jets. And,
Maybe, Mike. Don't bet any money on that.
Exactly. So the reality of it is people are going to be looking at this situation and they're going to treat our whole organization, Ronbo, they're going to treat it different because we paid for this pick. So when you pay for something, it's like your friends or like anyone else, out there. When you buy something, if you overpay, if you buy a piece of junk or you buy something that everyone's looking at like, what the hell did you buy that for? Right. So all of those things are going to come into to play and all the way down because the reality is with what we gave up, this decision affects automatically 2 years out into the future. You know what I mean?
Right.
2 years out, we don't have a first-round draft pick. So that's a big deal. A lot of people don't realize that. Look, I get guys get found in the 5th round and 6th round, and you have your gems here and there. But let's be honest. The number one quality, the top-tier talent in the NFL, that's within about the first maybe 25, you could be nice and say 50 players in the draft. But reality, it's more like 25. 25, the first 25 are usually a real elite talent. You know what I mean, Ronbo,
true.
in the draft. And so to give up 2 years of being able to get one of those guys, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So we gotta nail this pick. You know, I said what I said the other day. I still feel the same way. Maybe if we go Trey Lynch, you know, maybe he surprises me, surprises a lot of people, and he could be a little bit more game ready to play. But I really feel it in my heart. Listen, it's gonna break you. It's gonna break you. But if we do draft Mac Jones, Ronbo, we're trading Jimmy G. I'm just telling you that right now.
Well,
him being the most pro-ready and all that other stuff they're talking about.
You're not trading him on draft night, so because Jimmy's got a clause.
Possibly, Rombo. Possibly.
How you gonna, Mike?
I already told you. Listen,
he's got a draft. He's got a new draft.
Dream.
You got to trade him before the draft.
Listen, my dream draft scenario. I don't believe so because I believe that there's going to be certain teams that are willing to wait to see how the draft plays out. like for instance, like the Patriots. Look, Bill Belichick, he's not going to give up what maybe the Redskins or the Panthers or something like that. He might not be willing to give up what they would be willing to give up to come up to like 5 or 6 or something like that. But he'd be willing to go from maybe 15 to 10 or something like that. So if we don't pick Justin and he drops down that far, or if Trey Lance drops down that far by some chance, then they'll be in it. Then if not,
Mike, don't overstress yourself though. Jimmy has a no trade
about it, Ronbo.
clause.
Just don't want your feelings
you
hurt.
can't make a deal that night. Mike, I'm just talking fact. You can't trade him that night. It's got to be done before.
Yeah, all right.
Because he has a no trade clause. You're gonna call Jimmy during the middle of the draft. Jimmy, we accept this trade? I need to think about that. Too late.
It's simple as listen to me. This is chess, not checkers, Rombo. You don't think that they've
no matter what, Mike.
Jimmy G.
He's got to approve the trade.
Be okay and say, hey, look, if we could work out a deal with the Patriots, would you be willing to go there? You don't think they've already done that? Come on,
yeah.
Rombo.
What happened to it? They've already done it, Mike. You've heard it. It's been going on for a month.
It's been silent. And here's my number one thing. Listen, I'm going to say this.
We got to go, Mike.
Kick me off.
I know, quick.
This is my number one
10
reason,
seconds.
Rombo, right? It's because at the end of the day, you and I both know how Kyle is. If you're on one side of Kyle, Kyle doesn't go back. He doesn't want to be back.
Mike, the only thing you can pray for is they just cut him. No, you can't get anything for him.
That ain't happening.
Well, he's got a no trade clause.
Forget about that.
No trade clause means you can say no.
Listen,
Jimmy's got control of the situation just about. Anyway, Mike.
We draft Mac Jones. Get your trade alerts ready on your cellular phones out there. I friggin' promise you, all right? I promise you.
Mike, you got to look up what it says.
Right,
no trade clause
means. You
means.
have a good night over there. All right, shout out to all the faithfuls out there. And, even you too, little Rudy Poo and your sorry-ass lambs. All right? You degenerate. All right, Ronbo. Have a good night. I'll talk up with you on Friday, all right?
You too, Mike. Callie, I'm just telling the truth. I'm not defending anything. You guys know what a no trade clause is? I'm just saying. It's true. I thought everybody knew what a no trade clause meant. It's not a defense. Don't be stupid. It says I can agree to or not means what it says. That's all. That's all I said. BJ. DJ Malone, I'm aware of that too. It's next year. Not this year. Next year. BJ. $646, New York. I don't know why people think, every time I say something about Jimmy, they say, you're defending. I'm not defending him. It's true. 646, New York. Emilio.
What's happening?
Emilio, man, I'm looking at the options, man, and we just found out, and a lot of people just found out, Justin Fields has epilepsy. You also find out that the Jets are no longer just screaming, "We just love us some Zach Wilson," right? So now that shakes up the board when you find out that Justin has epilepsy. Because if the 49ers were going to go that way, even though it's so sad and evil, a lot of teams might say, "Oh, we think he's a great ball player, but we just don't want to run that risk," because you know how people are. So that could change everything for draft night. And the possibilities now have expanded because now I was joking about 49ers trading down, and are doing some other things. Now the book is wide open because the 49ers don't want Zach. I bet they don't. I'm just guessing. Well, what are you thinking, Emilio?
Nah, at this point, it's what's God? I always forget his name.
Trey Lance. It's almost
Yeah, there
Lance
you go.
by
I
default.
always forget his name. For somewhere that's reason, I always forget his name. Yeah, it might be him now because they were saying that Shanahan was happy, and at this point, yeah. Because matter of fact, I was listening. Like I told you, I'll be listening to Eric Crocker and his podcast. He kind of said the same thing. He was like, "When I see more happy," and at this point, it seems like it's him because he was like for Justin Fields, but at this point, after listening to his podcast yesterday, he was like, "Yeah." And at this point, he thinks it's Trey Lance.
I feel so bad for Justin Fields. So that's so sad because if nobody would have found out, he would have got drafted in the right position for his worth.
I forgot. It's like when we had Nate Davis and he was dyslexic. I mean, it's either he can either work out in the benefit. I mean, yeah, he might drop down, but somebody will pick him up. He'll play good. If he like I said, if it doesn't affect him, he's good to go. If he drops down a couple of picks or another round, and so be it. Like he just has to prove himself. That's all it is. And if he does good, he'll get his payday.
And he takes good care of himself. You can't play that many years of college football.
Sometimes like stuff like that sucks. Yeah. But you gotta give and take. I'm like, well, if I drop down, hey, I'm gonna show all these teams that passed up on me, and do my thing. So he, like I said, for him, I don't think it was a big thing. I think he just had to come out and say, because then they would have been like, oh, well, you're keeping this from us and not telling us.
Yeah.
How can we trust you with anything else?
You don't want to be putting up with that.
Yeah. He had to come out and open it. Somebody on draft day would have said something like, "Oh, did you guys know?" Or trying to make it a big thing on draft day. So
somebody's going to find out. It's
better for him to come out and say it.
True.
So it was better for him to come out and say it himself. So.
True.
Even if he drops, so be it. But yeah, I think I've been thinking for the last like 2 days, 3 days now. I think it's going to be Trey Lance now. That might be a quarterback. Like even though it'd be better for him anyways. He's young. He can sit behind Jimmy, and even if Jimmy gets hurt mid-season, he was good to go there.
Emilio, you're right. It may have been him all the time, just for the reason you just mentioned. 49ers, in spite of what people dislike for Jimmy, he can get it done as long as he's not healthy. So you got a chance now to bring in a kid that's got plenty of upside. You got to work with him for a minute, and then we can bring him in. It may have been Trey the whole time. Emilio, do we lose? Emilio.
Yeah,
oh, there you are. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying it may have been Trey the whole time because the 49ers were not a rebuilding team. Jimmy is not a paraplegic. And so therefore you can afford to bring in a guy like Trey if you feel his ceiling is that high, right? And work with him.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, like I said, at this point, we're just better off with Trey Lance because, as much as I like Justin Fields, it's just starting to look like Trey Lance is a guy, he can sit and learn, and he's young anyway, so he can either sit for a year or two, if we have a Jimmy or not have him get rid of Jimmy. Either way, Trey Lance is a better option at this point. He's a younger quarterback, and not that his talent was so great, the competition he was against, but hey, he's proven he can play in it. He can play
at that level. If he's only 20,
at that level,
yeah. If he's only 19 when he's doing all that, he's gonna get better.
You
better.
should be amazed because Because you know what? Like I said, I would listen to that podcast, and they were all saying, most of them, a few guys, even other things I listened to, he said, if you pick one of the three quarterbacks, all three of them said Trey Lance is a better quarterback. You know, they would take him over any of the other three, Wilson, Fields, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't
So
forget
he's
about
kinda,
don't forget about Mac. Vegas has Mac
No,
back at 3.
You know what? They brought up Mac. You know, the only reason because they bring him up because they were looking at what he does and what Shanahan likes, but they were like, well, for the most part, it's just they compare him to Jimmy. They're like, you already have that in Jimmy. The only difference between him and Jimmy is that he hasn't gotten hurt in his career yet. So that's the only upside they have it to him, because he does what Jimmy does, just dumps off the ball, and the receiver does the rest. We've seen that.
Yeah.
We all seen it. We've
He
seen
did that
it
at Bama.
with previous quarterbacks.
You're gonna see.
But no, at this point,
You're going to see a lot of teams doing that in the future. You're going to see a lot of teams doing that in the future. This way downfield deep pass, cornerbacks are too good nowadays. You notice even Roethlisberger was cutting his game down. Brady, everybody. This thing about shooting the ball downfield, 1990 is over. You know what? It's you got to have a strategy out there. You will get picked off.
What's the name was Breeze was doing it too. They were
Damn
all doing
right.
it. Think
bombing.
about it. What I mean, Jimmy's still young, but at their age, you think about Ben and you think about Drew. They're getting old. They can't really be chucking the ball all the way down the field. You know, it's like when you play basketball, your knees start going at it. So your quarterback, you know, your arm starts going at it. You can't keep throwing that ball deep down the field every single time. Of course, you're gonna start dunking the ball every chance you get. But you know,
if you got playmakers,
it's good in the beginning.
That's why the 49ers picked up the players they got. You got guys out there now, you get the ball in their hands, it's quick. The defensive line is at a disadvantage if I can get my quarterback, get rid of that ball quick. If I got guys that could do damage when they get the ball, damn right I'm going to give them the ball, and the fans don't like it, that's too bad. We'll set up the deep pass, but we're not going to be just spraying the downfield. Defenses are too sophisticated if you be going downfield like that all the time, you know?
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, like I said, we all like it. We all want to see it. That's the one thing we're missing on the Niners. That's what we're missing. I mean, we like the short passes. We like when people can scrimmage, run the ball at the 40, 50, get out and Kittle do his thing. But you know, that's actually the one thing we're missing. I think that if we have that with everybody we got on the team, that just that one bit. Not for me, not do it every play, because come on, now, you're throwing the ball every play. You're gonna be like, come on, and they're not catching it. You'll be like, now you just overdoing it, and you're wasting time and all these incomplete passes.
Fourth down.
So no, I'm all for it. Like I said, if we can get a quarterback and do both, dunk the ball, all three, dunk the ball, go deep and play the pocket and run.
You got to get the receiver.
We need
you got to get the receiver too, though. We need a speed guy, and then you can do all that. You know, I'm gonna see. Let me get back to you this weekend. You know.
I'm gonna start upping up on Norm. It ain't Niners all day. It's Niners for life.
There he goes. I like that. Norm, there you go. Don't be ready for that. All right, fam. See you Friday.
All right, see you.
All right. Santana.
Oh, what's up, Ronbo?
Santana, man, we're looking at some of the other options other than Lance, Fields, Wilson. You know, the funny thing is, I really feel bad for him because he's worked too hard. We found out Justin Fields does have a condition, epilepsy, right? I don't know how that's going to affect his stock. I really feel bad for him. He's worked too hard to get where he is. You know what, though, Santana? It may be something that inspires some owners, because if he did as well as he's done all this time with that condition, he's a real fighter. That might actually... It might boost him, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes to show, man, the heart of that guy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Ronbo, you know, I don't know if you've seen the show QB 21, not that one. It's what's it called? Road to the Draft or something like that. He comes out in the show.
What's it all?
And so
NFL Network.
So he's vegan, right? But I found out that people that have epilepsy, it's a good thing to go vegan, because some sort of foods can trigger, you know, a seizure and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's real careful with his diet. I remember they talked about that.
Exactly.
Now we know.
Yes. Now it makes sense why he's vegan, so kind of makes sense a little bit, but it's also he probably did it for health too as well.
Wait,
But yeah,
wait a
man,
minute.
it just shows
Justin
that
Fields, he's
what's up?
vegan? Justin Fields is
Yeah,
vegan?
he's vegan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't know
vegan.
that. Wow.
Yeah. And supposedly it helps some sort of foods can trigger like I said, seizures, so that's why he went vegan. I'm guessing that's why he went vegan, but that he didn't say that.
God, he's a
but
strong looking dude to be vegans
yeah,
usually look like a vegan, right? Well, I
yeah.
don't know. Some
And
guys might be vegan, I don't even know. But he looks pretty powerful to be vegan, though.
oh yeah. I think if he wasn't vegan, he'd probably be walking around 230, 235 usually.
Yeah,
He'd be a
6'3",
big guy.
yeah.
But
Helps his speed.
but yeah, man,
though.
it sucks, man, to hear that. But I think that shouldn't affect him, because it hasn't so far. He's played football, and he's played football throughout his whole life. So, I mean, I don't see why it's a big issue now. You know what I'm saying? I know, yeah, it's going into the NFL, and it can be a lot more dangerous, but, I mean, that's why he has his legs. That's why he has that arm, to get rid of the ball quick and to move around and take less hits. But yeah, I mean, I still think that we should take him at 3. I don't think that should be an issue at all.
Yeah, they might.
That shouldn't be. Yeah, he's. I mean, dude, he's just. I mean, the guy is. You want him to be the face of your franchise, man. His weight. You know what I'm saying, Ronbo?
He's a fighter. I'm amazed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, but I mean, I'm just tired of all these narratives and ESPN and all that stuff, just trashing him, questioning his work ethic and all that stuff.
I heard about that one too. That's got to be false.
Yeah, but Mac Jones is some for some reason
right?
some god that just came out of nowhere. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It just pisses me off, man. And, you know, Ronbo.
I know. I've seen it.
And hold up, Ronbo. And some. So I told you about Joe Clay, right? He's like he covers the college, and he knows them very well, right? And he was talking to Colin Cowherd, and they were talking about Mac Jones maybe going to the Niners at possibly at 3. And Joe Clay was like, dude, let me tell you something. He's all, Mac Jones is a poor Joe Burrow. Let's put it that way. His arm strength is not as strong as Joe Burrow. His body's not as strong as Joe Burrow. And, his IQ is not as good as Joe Burrow. So he's like, I'm just going to put it there. That's all he said.
Got all the information on him there.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to take his information. I mean, I've seen film on Mac Jones, and it's exactly what I see. You know what I'm saying? Exactly how he described that is exactly what I see. There's nothing great about the guy. We should not take him out there. If anything, if the Niners have questions about Justin Fields, just go with Trey Lance and mold him up however you want him,
Yeah.
But
and
we'll see what happens, Ronbo.
It may have been Trey the whole time. I hope, because we're going to look at the 49ers and say, oh, man, you didn't get the dude because of epilepsy. Man, come on, man. We'll never find out if that's true or not. Because apparently he's got his epilepsy situation under control. I heard about him. He plans his diet sometimes weeks in advance, his training regimen. This is one of the most organized guys you're going to find. And then they say he's got a work ethic issue. I said, wait a minute. Where'd that come from? We're reading this, man. And you're going to tell me this? So I find it hard to believe.
It's unfair, man. The criticism those guys get is crazy, but whatever. I mean, hopefully he goes into the NFL and just shows everybody out, man.
Yeah. I got to root for a guy like that. I really do.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan now,
Yeah.
If I was a fan, I'm a bigger fan now, So hopefully it turns out good.
And what a story
and if we would take him, I'll be happy. Oh, Ronbo, it'd be a crazy story. Imagine Niners moving up to a 3rd, pick, and then him having a great career. It comes out to be like a movie sort of thing,
It would be, right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
15 years from now, 20 years from now, the Justin Fields story. And wins a Super Bowl, right? There you go. That's a fairy tale ending.
Hell yeah.
Santana,
yeah.
We're gonna go because I gotta get out of here a little earlier tonight. So we'll see you this weekend,
man.
Friday. All right.
All right, man. You have a good one, man. You have a good week, man. I'll see you Friday, man.
Thanks,
or the rest of the week. All right, man.
Yeah. Night, Santana. B. Ham wants everybody to know we're wasting a pick on Trey Lance. B. Ham, thanks for that. BM, you're preaching to the choir. I don't even feel like I need a quarterback. I'm talking about give me Kyle Pitts. Check back on BJ out in Bermuda. BJ sometimes falls asleep on us. BJ may have done that. Let's go back to Mr. Black Guy says number 3 pick equals the it factor is a must. Stack up with our DBs, O-line, and wide receivers, plus fill spots at draft time. I want to see what wide receivers Jennings got. HBD song and for your dude, Mr. Black Ice, a.k.a. Myrick Price. What up, Myrick? Mr. Black Ice. Thanks for that contribution too, fam. It's getting everybody's mind. The juices are just flowing now, man. We're coming up with all kind of stuff now. It's in order to keep from going insane because we got to wait for another week. Your mind's don't get alone with your thoughts. It'll make you crazy. 646 New York. The Big Apple, New York. The Big Apple. Tony. Tony.
How you doing, Ronbo? Aloha. Can you hear me?
Tony can hear you now, man. Tony just needed to hit a button because Tony, I know what he knows he's doing with his own equipment. So, there's no way that it had to be anything other than that. Tony, get in here, man.
How you doing?
I'm in sympathetic, color me sympathetic at the moment because I wasn't a huge Justin Fields fan, but I kind of started to turn into one because of the fact that he's got an obstacle in his. And I like those kind of human interest stories. And if he could come in and it translates to a big-time story, I mean, Tony, it's the kind of thing that you would get behind if they were getting ready to write a movie. You know what I mean? It's amazing. God.
Yeah. You know what? It's a whole load of BS. It is not an issue for Justin Fields whatsoever. Okay. He's gone to 2 different Division I colleges where they have extensive medical programs. His family has a history of epilepsy. His father and his uncle, he's known he has epilepsy. He has been medicated. Plus, there are at least four former players that we know of who have had epilepsy and played great. Alan Faneca, Tiki Barber, Samari Roll, and Jason Snelling, all NFL players who have played with their epilepsy. Honestly, Jay Cutler having diabetes was worse than this because it actually affected his playing time.
Yeah.
This is all the media needing something to do with 8 days to go until the draft after we've yapped about, this and that, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, all that sort of stuff. They are running out of storylines to talk about. And so this is what they got. Somebody got word of this. And, I wonder sometimes if this would have happened if Zach Wilson had epilepsy, like if it would have been such a big story. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. But all that being said, Justin Fields is going to grow up to be an excellent quarterback in the NFL. And should the 49ers draft him at number 3, yeah, no fears whatsoever, and Kyle Shanahan will get the best out of him. Kyle Shanahan will get the best out of whether it's Justin Fields, whether it's Trey Lance, or whether it's Mac Jones. Kyle Shanahan is and this roster are going to be great for this rookie quarterback. And so all this is just BS about Justin Fields' epilepsy. He'll be just fine. Also, both I think his father and his uncle grew out of their epilepsy when they hit their 20s. So it was something
possible?
That was
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It totally happens. So, again, this is just jibber jabber for the media to generate more clicks from. And unfortunately, as you say, there are some, I guess, less informed GMs out there who might use this as a black mark against him. But I don't see him getting out of the top 5 because if we don't take him at 3, so I think someone's going to take him. If it's not the Falcons, someone will trade up into that spot. Someone is going to want Justin Fields in the top 5 because he is that good. I look at him as kind of a faster Deshaun Watson. I think that's what he's going to project out to. And so I'd be stoked to have him. Personally, though, I want Trey Lance. If we're picking a quarterback, Trey Lance is the guy that I would want more than anything else at number 3 overall. Just with his athletic ability and all that sort of stuff. So I'm stoked about. I am stoked, like the previous caller was, for the draft to almost be here, so we can move beyond all this senseless stuff.
Get past this time, please. It's just stressful. If you're really passionate about this game as we are, it's stress. You keep thinking about it. You're preoccupied with it. And then what ifs start haunting you, God.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just upset that the Niners don't have more picks in the top 100. I mean, we have the natural amount of picks, but we gave up that third-round draft pick last year to get Trent Williams, who is still on the roster, and he's still an above Pro Bowl level left tackle. I just wish we had one or two more picks in that top 100 because there are a lot of really good players that are coming out this year who are going to be there in between, picks like 25 and probably like 90 that I wish we could have a shot at because, picking where we do at 43. I'm not sure if the cornerback that we need for the long term is going to be there. I'm not sure if at that point there's going to be, like a running back worth drafting or a wide receiver. There might be a good wide receiver worth drafting at that position. But overall, I wish the Niners just had more picks in this draft, as was evident by my draft on Sunday, Ronbo. But you know how I feel about that.
Yes, indeed. Tony had 100. He started with a few and ended with over 100 picks. Tony, you know what, though? It's going to be interesting to see what the 49ers do because every year, Tony, we find ourselves back in the first round, and you'll hear about it midway through the draft. The 49ers are said to be making a move. And usually every year, 49ers are said to be making a move to get back in the first round. Whoa! And I was, here we go. Every year they've done that. And
it's with a DL guy too. It's always somebody you don't expect. Like there were a few people who I remember in the chat section who were talking up about Brandon Ayuk last year, but we were all hyped on Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb and Henry Ruggs and all of a sudden who's this Ayuk? I don't know who this dude is. Turns out he's pretty darn good. So
yes,
I think the 49ers, I would like to see them trade up back into the first, although and maybe have a shot at a J.C. Horn or someone of that ilk. Would be really, really great. Or honestly, the other one, and I know there's a lot of disagreements about who's the best running back in the draft and whether or not running back was worth trading or worth drafting in the first round altogether. But I have a hard time personally seeing Najee Harris getting past the Steelers. But if we want that bell cow back, that every down back who can do it all in the NFL, I mean, I don't know. There are lots of good players that I could see us trading up for, but I'd like to see. I think J.C. Horn would be the one I'd want to most trade up for personally.
We're going to see. Tony, let's see you Friday and get ready for more BS and be prepared for it. And Tony's cleared something up about epilepsy too. Tony, thank you for that, man.
You're welcome. Yeah, just do. Okay, take care, everybody. Aloha, Ronbo.
Aloha, Tony. Talk to you shortly.
Peace.
And it's TNTD Nice.
Hey, Ronbo, how's it going?
Denise, it's going crazy good. We just got to hurry up and get past these next few days. We'll all survive and get into Thursday so we can get this done. But
yeah, we will.
Yeah, but Tony, I feel better about Justin Fields because he's worked too hard. For everybody to start looking at that little nasty thing written on his resume now, or his application to get in the NFL.
You're actually talking to someone who has it, so I know a lot about it.
Denise.
Yeah,
Enlighten us.
I've had it since I was 8. I've had it since I was 18. That was the first time I had a seizure and the first time I was diagnosed.
Denise.
Sad thing was, my mom thought it was because I was on drugs.
Well, yeah, of course. Everybody's. Anytime you do anything irregular, your parents go, "Oh, I knew it. You're on drugs, aren't you?" What?
I know. It's like you never saw more of a sigh of relief when the doctor came in and told her, we tested her blood. She does not have any hardcore drugs in her system. So he's like, that's not why she had a seizure.
And
I was like, thanks. I'm like, gee, thanks a lot, Mom.
Yeah, mom doesn't mind me having epilepsy, but if I did drugs, she'd be mad. Denise, now I can see where your comedy comes from. Your mom sounds like, it's funny. But Denise, you've handled it, right? You take a medication on a regular basis or something, and it doesn't suddenly flare up on you?
I take the two things. It's like the way my neurologist described it to me, and I still see one to this very day. He told me that everybody, like every person in America, has what they call a seizure threshold. Mm-hmm. Like everybody has one. Like lack of sleep. Like for me, it's lack of sleep and stress. So yes, the draft is killing me right now. Just kidding. I'm taking my meds. I'm fine. But anyway,
Good.
Yeah. So everyone has that like threshold, but as long as he's taking his medication, he's eating right, he's doing what he has to do, and sleeping's a huge thing. Like if you're someone who has epilepsy, sleep's a huge deal. Like you have to make sure you get enough sleep.
Okay.
So and obviously you can tell by looking at him that he takes care of himself. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he, and the other guy said he heard he was vegan. So,
He's very serious.
like it's basically all that stuff. Yeah. And so it's basically just about taking care of yourself and making sure you take your medication.
And that'll stave off sudden seizures for the most part, along with the medication.
Yeah. Exactly.
He sounds like he does that.
Can he have one? Can he have one? Well, of course he can. But the other thing is too, like, I'm not as good at this, but my sister also has it. So, so basically it boils down to like some people can feel it. Like you can feel it coming on.
Okay.
Like if you feel a little off or you feel a little weird, like, I've had instances in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had instances in my life where I've been like, I've literally had to pull over and walk into a pharmacy and say, I need to sit down and you need to watch me because I'm on the freeway and I think I'm going to have a seizure. So if I fall out, please, don't dial 911. Let me do my thing and then wake me up and I'll take off. Because the ambulance ride is too expensive.
Denise, the times you've done that, was it just a passing thing? Did you came out okay, I guess?
Yeah, no. The one time it happened, it did actually scare me, but my husband came and picked me up because I was like stuttering and I thought I was really going to have one. And so my husband was like, I'll be right there. I'll bring someone with me. We'll take the car home. And yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. That's why, and Justin Fields has worked hard to get where he is and probably dedicated more than most people because if he's had that condition since he's been very young, he's been motivated for his whole life. This is not going to stop me from getting to my goals type of guy. So I'm really pushing for him now. I think the Jets are going to wise it up, though. And they're not going to. Zach Wilson, you guys must be kidding. We're taking this guy. And I think Fields is going to be gone at number 2.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I thought this was funny. I thought you would find this funny. So I listened to Haberman and Middlecoff.
Yeah, I watched them on occasion.
Middlecoff said, yeah, they're a good podcast. I like them. Yeah. But Middlecoff said that Greg Papa was calling him and being like, so have you heard anything? Do you know who the pick is? Because Middlecoff used to be a scout. So he's got a lot of connections, like in the scouting community. And and he was laughing and he said, I told Greg Papa, he's like, you're closer to the 49ers than I am. Why are you calling me and asking me if I've heard anything? He goes, what have you heard? So I thought that was really funny. I was like, funny. Oh, that's hysterical.
And this is going on every day, God.
Yeah, so basically, like you said, no one knows. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, it could be Mac, it could be Lance, it could be Fields. No one, I think the whole community, the NFL, all 49er fans, I think we're all going to be shocked because I don't think any of us truly know who the pick is.
Oh, we don't.
I mean,
for sure.
And, everybody knows, like, I call into the show on a regular. Everybody knows I don't want Mac Jones. I don't. Because I don't see the upside in Mac Jones. And what's funny is the same people that Big Show quotes on the NFL of saying like, oh, Ronbo, all these people are saying it's saying it's Mac Jones. I almost said they're saying it's Big Show. Big Show, you're the next quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers.
I can just see it. I just want to be at the stadium when he comes running down the field. Way well. Oh, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big show on today.
Oh my God, that'll be awesome. But all those people, like they literally say it like this, Ronbo. They're like, yeah, the 49ers, it's locked in. They're drafting Mac Jones. And then in the
I love when they
same
use
breath,
that term.
Ronbo,
What do you guys use the word
same
locked
breath.
in? You don't
They
know.
say, they're like, now, I wouldn't pick Mac Jones at number 3. Now, I think Justin Fields is better. I think Trey Lance is better.
Don't they
But
always
the 49ers
follow
are
it up that
taking
way?
Mac Jones.
Denise.
And I'm just like, what?
I know. And they're going to keep doing that, too. Denise, we're going to go and look forward to seeing you Friday, okay?
All right, you
and
take
thanks
care,
for filling
Ronbo.
us in. That story was heartwarming. Loved it. And you take care. All right. Don't you be
You
sick.
too. Talk to you later.
All right. Night, Denise.
All right.
Good
night.
Good night. Mr. Black Eyes Tutu, you forgot my HBD. Oh, HBD song. Hey, Mr. Black Eyes already. Didn't it say his name is, what's his name? Is Myrick? Myrick. I think his name is Myrick. We got to take a moment out. Mr. Black Eyes, otherwise known as Myrick. Happy, oh ho ho, happy Niners birthday, Myrick. Happy Niners birthday to Myrick. Happy Niners. He goes by the name of Mr. Black Eyes, a.k.a. it's Myrick. Happy birthday, Myrick. Man, I thought I saw HBD in there earlier, and I said, oh, HBD, happy birthday, Myrick. It's Mr. Black Eyes. And I see here, it says, and B Sucker 37, B Sucker. Trey to the bird, quest for 6. Thanks for that contribution, fam. And let me know if I'm saying is sucker or sucker, because I always did like the word sucker. My sister used to say that all the time, calling me that. And ever since then, it's always been an affectionate term. She'd always come, sucker? I said, come here. My name is not Sucker. Hey, Bill.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Bill, man, we're looking at things. The media's trying to change the narrative. They just all of a sudden, and I bet you, hey, Bill, you know what? I'll bet they've known for a while now that Justin Fields had epilepsy. And Justin's probably saying, you know what? They're getting ready to spread that out and make it ugly. I'm going to tell everybody myself, okay? Got epilepsy. So you know, I had him going at number 2 or 3. I knew he would be there. I was thinking, you know, but the Jets, I think they're still going to do it. The 49ers, oh, Bill, you know what? I'm not sure if it was Justin Fields. It may have always been Lance. I do not believe it's Mac Jones, but Trey Lance.
I hope that would be a good day. And y'all clowning Trey Lance when he goes out and balls out and shows y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear anybody cry about no Trey Lance after that.
No, Bill, we cry a lot.
I saw him. I had a little. I was talking about it with a buddy, which he got himself in a situation I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
I was telling him before the season started last season that that's the guy. If we don't do any good, we should actually look at and pick up. The guy's like, oh, who, Trey? Who's that dude? Nobody knew who he was. But like I said, I hope it is Trey. I really can't be excited about that. I'm in the process of moving, and a lot of shenanigans have been happening on YouTube lately, and I'm like, man.
Bill, who do you like? You're not a Trey fan? Bill, who do you want?
I am a Trey fan. I like Trey Lance.
Okay.
That's what I always wanted was Trey. That's what I wanted to get is Trey Lance.
Yeah, I don't know enough about these guys. I was a Trey Lance fan, too, just from watching him work on the short clips I saw him on. So yeah.
That'd be good, and yeah, we could try Jimmy. We train him and see how Jimmy does. But from hearing a lot, there was a guy. You mentioned something. I waited too long. I'm half awake. I've been moving a lot. The guy we're talking about how Trey would fit our system perfect.
Yeah.
Only need weeks. He could take 6 weeks to learn, and he could start right after. He's that intelligent.
He's played under center. He spin around, turn around, and fire like Kyle. Like you got to do in Kyle's system. Yeah, he looked good in the drills.
He could run. He can throw. He could do it all. And I know a lot of people boo me, but he'll be better than Patrick Mahomes if he's put in the right team.
Well, now, Bill, you might want to take it easy. We'll see.
I ain't taking it easy. I'm gonna call it and never save it. Save this for when it happens. You can either call me bull or you can say, "Hey, you were right." But I bet much faith in this kid. But
he could be better. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, he could either end up possibly, if we stick with their guns and we keep doing what we're doing, he could pass Tom Brady in the 7 rings with us, man.
Oh, Billy, I got one superstition, though. It's not a superstition. It's been statistically proven. Getting a quarterback in the top 5 is risky for weird, I don't know what the reason is, but Bill, the majority of them fail. I'm trying to think of the last guy that did well that was picked in the top half of the draft as quarterback, I mean. Most of them in the last 10 years have been absolute okay, but nobody can. Well, Cam Newton is one. He was in the top. Cam was in the top 5, I guess. But yeah, it's a scary time to pick a quarterback.
A lot of them went to teams that wasn't worth nothing, organizations that wasn't great.
True.
They come to the 49ers and they're built under the Shanahan system, and they work out good. That could change the statistics. Records have been known to be broke.
I hope the stats change starting with the 49ers. Yes, indeed. It's funny thing, Carson Wentz and Jared Goff should have done better. Carson Wentz, he's got issues with injuries too. And Jared Goff, I think McVay just hates him. So, I don't know. And Baker Mayfield is okay. He's not making anybody crazy. You go back down through the years, it's just really strange, What's wrong with the first round, top of the draft quarterbacks? They never get to the same team. They don't get re-signed. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, on and on. You keep going back and back in time. Okay, we're going to change it, though, Bill. You're right. The narrative's going to change this year.
I feel sorry for one quarterback. And, see, the reason why I feel sorry for him is because he's going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's the one that they're going to be saying is a flop.
He's the next guy.
Or Trevor Lawrence is the next guy you're talking about that's going to fail. And I believe he will, because the organization is trash. And I'm going to tell you straight out, I feel sorry. If I was him, I would want to go somewhere other than Jacksonville.
Now his coach is there.
Yeah. And he's like, that's why he made a comment. I don't even care. I don't need to do this. I don't need to play this game.
And that's smart.
I love it.
If he fails, hey, look, I'm Dante Pettis' big bro. This is not my life is just not football. Billy.
So he's already given a warning. So I think he already knows. He's just going in for the money and for the excitement. He doesn't even care about the rings.
Bill, we're gonna go. Because I gotta get out of here soon again. I got one of the rush days, so I'm gonna see you Friday. All right?
Friday.
Yeah.
If I'm not moving, give me a 49ers shout out.
I'll be looking for you too.
And you guys have a nice day.
You too, Bill. Niners! Bill! Tonight. Have a good night.
Hold on a second. Are you there, Ronbo?
Yeah, Bill. Where have you been? I just gave you this.
Do this to you again. She wanted to hear my thing cut off. Give me one more 49ers shot.
Okay. We can do that. Niners! Nice. night, guys.
All right, you have a nice night, Ronbo.
Bye. Robert, slam it. Hey, Robert, thanks. It doesn't matter what quarterback 49ers get, but can you imagine what kind of quarterback they will be under Kyle with all these jet sweeps? Very simple. Yeah, But you know what, Kyle's pre-snap movements, there's a lot of activity going out there that some of us aren't going to be able to process. This is what I'm saying. When you see quarterbacks a little gimpy in the beginning, it's not because they're bad. It's because the system is designed to annihilate. It takes a while to learn that. So whoever comes in quarterback, don't get on him. He's going to struggle in the first beginning. That's just the way it is. And Pop Dragon.
Too late, Ronbo. Bench him. Bench him. Bench them all. Well, just run it.
I know. But the average 49er fan, quarterback gets out there and makes one mistake. Out of here. Can't trade him. Better bench him.
Get out of here. Direct snap to Moser.
That's why we run the ball. The quarterback sucks. What I'd love to do? I'd love to get some of these guys in the Kyle Shanahan program, learn some of the verbiage to begin with, to see how long they go, All right, we're on the field. Let's go. On my count. And now, all of a sudden, guys got the pre-snap movements. Everybody's moving around. Center's looking at what's going on with the defense. They audible all of a sudden. Mac said, change the 72B, 25, searching team. And all of a sudden, now, the whole movement has to change. You see the offense shift left. And all of a sudden, the play goes against the grain to the right. I love when they do that play, by the way. And they run the ball the opposite direction of all that, Shanahan's offense is no joke. Well, Kyle schemes things up. It's an easy offense. Dude, learn about football. If you ever played, the playbook is never easy. It looks that way because they make it look that way. It ain't easy. So,
No, not his playbook. Not his playbook.
Yeah.
And
the
Patriots
don't know what to do.
To borrow a word from our boy Niner Mike, forget about it. There's a reason they've been the top 8 offense like the last 2 years. It's not all Tom Brady.
Yeah, you can't be simple. But Bob, hey man.
Speaking of Tom Brady, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, looking at some of the options and things like that, are the 49ers going to fool you on draft night and do something crazy?
They have before. They always do. I try to find out which prospect is like in a cast or in a wheelchair, and I try to say, okay, that's probably the guy. That's what I try to do. So I look for injury histories, and maybe, just maybe. No, but all seriousness, no. Most top pick quarterbacks fail because most top pick quarterbacks go to a bad team. 49ers are not a bad team. This is unprecedented. They traded up all these picks to get one of the better quarterbacks. And you know what? I will say this. They have a choice. They can trade the pick. I have an idea for that. Or you look at your guys that are going to be there. If you get Fields, you're going to have to change up the offense a little bit. If you get McCorkle, you can keep the offense the same.
Uh-oh.
If you get my man Lance, well, you can expand the offense. Now, a caller earlier said, well, a quarterback's not going to make a difference. And you just know the game, 85% of the game is won during the week, during preparation, meetings, and practice.
Good point.
15% of the game is those plays that playmakers make. If you want to win, you got to have playmakers. That's why. Exactly. That's why Kirk Cousins has good stats, but he don't win jack in the playoffs when everything is on the line. Right? Now, Jimmy has done it. Okay? But we all seem to forget to give proper respect to COVID. COVID tore up the world last year. It's tearing up my family right now.
Hey,
okay? It
right.
tore up the draft.
Yeah.
It's tearing up the draft. And it's going to tear up the draft next year. Because right now, I'm having to scout so many players because of you, Ronbo. That I'm looking at all these players. He played 6 games. This player opted out. He played 10 games. This player opted out. Lance plays 1 game. But there's so much baloney in the media going on right now that is hilarious.
And some salami.
Yes. Colin Coward said today, he says, I changed my mind. The Niners are going to draft Mac Jones because he just fits the system and they're going to win now.
Pop, just like you just said, though, with Mac Jones, and this is going to make it convenient for Kyle Shanahan, he doesn't have to go through a whole lot of alteration with the rest of the players on the field. And that's an interesting point that you brought, and it sort of resonated in my head when you said that. Kyle can plug him in, and he doesn't have to go through a whole lot of work. Just has to learn the playbook.
Okay, you want to hear? All right, let's cut a little bit deeper. Okay. Trey Lance is dating Liz Coward.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. They're trying to keep it on a down low, and I only know this kind of crap because myself, I used to be a scout, and I used to have epilepsy. I have so much in common with this conversation tonight. But the reality is that he is dating his daughter. Because on the show today, he's like, I met Trevor Lance a couple. I've met Trey Lance a couple times. He's a real nice kid, real nice young man. That's a shout out to him. Then he says, "Oh, but it's gonna be Mac Jones." It's not gonna be Mac Jones. It's never been Mac Jones. But I tell you what, I would draft Mac Jones. I would draft him because he is the next Tom Brady. I would draft him in the 6th round. The 6th round. And I will hook him up with the richest supermodel in the world, and then maybe he can get his 8 to 9 rings. But if I'm not mistaken, Ronbo, this is the NFC West, which is the best.
Behind every great man is a woman, and Giselle is the biggest reason for Tom Brady's success. Hey,
exactly.
Another great point you made. You've got to have talents out there. You look at Brady when he left New England. He was so PO'd because of the lack of talent. Then he goes from rags to riches as far as talent goes. He goes to Tampa Bay. Papa, he's got so much talent around him, it's ridiculous. And they steamroll.
He's a coach on the field.
High mighty Chiefs.
It's not fair. It's not fair. I'm telling you why it's not fair. This is the deal. So Chad Johnson could not handle the playbook that the Patriots had. And the reason is because the Patriots runs everyone's offense. So their playbook is so big, when they face a team, they're going to put whatever playbook that team can't handle. And that's why they won so many games. Also because their division's very weak. Now, Shanahan, on the other hand, we got Russell Wilson. Yeah, let me make my last point. And I know I got to be quick. Here's the deal.
Seconds.
A person said, how does a quarterback make the most difference at practice? Trey Lance can imitate Russell Wilson, and he can imitate the Rams quarterback Stafford. He has the arm to do that, and the wheels and the arms to do the other guy. He will make our team better just in practice.
Oh, more good points.
Think about it.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at you, Pop. Man, I'm telling you, man. That's a lot. We're going to talk with. It's Papa Dragon is up this weekend for the Red and Gold GM, by the way. All right, Papa, I'll talk to you Friday, too. All right.
All right. To the millions and millions of the Niners fans. Niners all day, baby.
Good night, PD. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, Ronbo. How you doing, man?
Morgan, oh man, doing great, man. We're just sitting here. We're keeping each other company on these days of high stress levels.
Yeah, it's real quiet this week, Ronbo.
Oh man, what do you mean quiet? It's Mac Jones, is back
in 49
the biggest favorite.
It's real quiet. All the media guys are talking, of course, but as far as knowing what the Niners doing this week, it's real quiet.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Like inside the building.
Oh, it's always quiet.
Real
These
quiet.
guys, they don't let nothing
out. But you hear all these, like they're on the plane to go to Justin Fields' pro day. They're on the plane to go to
we get to hear about
Mac Jones' pro day.
They can't hide that. Yeah.
Yeah. But have you heard a lot about Trey Lance's pro day? I've seen maybe 2 or 3 throws. There's nothing else on. Oh shoot.
But they didn't say that much about Fields either. You got that day. You got some information, but not much.
Yeah, but you
And
had
got the big picture.
pictures.
Yeah, I know the big
Yeah.
picture. Kyle with
You
that
got
big
nothing
grin on
with
his face.
Fields. Yeah. You got nothing with Fields. I didn't even hear when he left the building, like when Kyle left the building.
I know.
You know, so it makes me wonder if it is Lance, because right.
Yeah.
Kyle's
if you
maybe
go by
like
what
no
we've been going by.
pictures. I don't want
Yeah.
any pictures. I don't want
The less-
any. I don't want any people to see me. I don't want them to know when we're leaving. You know.
And when he puts that kind of information out, he automatically is dropping dimes. I mean, Kyle, you told me, I don't know, you told people at North Dakota State, listen, don't, what you just said with the photos and everything.
Yeah.
And I guess it pissed him off what happened with Justin Fields. So look, you know what? Don't do that. Don't do that,
Yeah.
guys. I'm telling you, don't do that. So
Yeah.
now we got what we got.
And it could be any one of these guys, right?
Yeah.
It could be Mac Jones. I don't want Mac Jones. I don't necessarily think it will be Mac Jones, but it could be. Right? I don't
we all need to
agree
come
with
to grips
anyone who
with that, Morgan.
says.
Yeah. Just
I don't agree with what anyone says when they say, "Oh, you could have got Mac Jones at 12." You don't know that. There's not a quarterback
Maybe-
you know that you could have got at 12.
Oh, well, that's
Every
true.
team is different. The
Belichick
Patriots
would have
could see
traded
us.
past the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
If Belichick would have traded right past the 49ers, and contrary to what people believe, Belichick does not want $27 million on his bankroll. And he's got too big of a bankroll now. So, you
Yeah.
know, he was going to go, I think Belichick was always going to go for Mac Jones, actually.
Yeah.
So if the 49ers would have been
And-
sitting at 12, he would have traded right on past them and got Jones. And if that be the case,
And even
that would
if we
justify
trade
what
back
they moved
now.
to number 3. Huh?
Right? Where could we trade back now that the Patriots can't say, "Oh, we'll trade it past them"? Even if we go to 5, Patriots will be like, "All right, we'll go to 4."
Yeah, right. They'll go
Yeah.
to the Falcons and get us.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no way to trade down and get our guy. So if
You needed to be
the
at
Jets
3.
aren't taking the guy, yeah. If the only reason we would trade back is if the Jets take the guy Kyle really wants.
Oh.
That's the only way I see us trading back. If
But boy,
the Jets
who is the
take
guy
a guy,
that Kyle really wants? If that be the case, and Robert Saleh knows Kyle, I think they're
it would
going to
be
take the guy the 49ers
it
want.
would be Fields. Yeah, it would be Fields or Wilson.
I think so,
Maybe
too.
that's why. Yeah, maybe.
I think
because
Zach is
we're at
getting-
3.
Oh, no, you know what? I think Zach's getting overrated in this draft. I think the GMs are thinking
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say I think he could definitely be the bust of this class. Right?
Yeah,
There's
easily.
2 years of so to bad film, and he had one breakout year during COVID. I mean, it could be all hype, right?
So, it's between Lance or Fields at number 2.
I think the Jets pick could be the one that's a bust, and Lance if he goes to the wrong, if he goes to the wrong team, like if he gets to Denver, if he gets to
John
Denver,
Elway,
maybe.
Yeah, ruins quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Of all people,
But-
John Elway. Oh.
But I'm not worried. Whoever we take, Kyle Shanahan's not in trouble. This organization isn't going downhill. We have too good of a team, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
whether people like it or not, Jimmy Garoppolo is still on the team.
And he's
So
he's
he's
still
that
got a
safety
winning
net.
record.
Exactly.
I can see JG, if he does a good job this year, the 49ers are going to be under a lot of pressures. Let's say we get to the Super Bowl and win it. You know,
How do you make that move?
He'll finish his
How
contract.
do you make the move?
He'll finish his
And
contract. He'll do 2 years.
I don't think you can make the move in the middle. Like some people are saying, "Oh, by week 6, the quarterback will be ready. He'll go in." I don't think you can make that move with the team.
That's not Shanahan. That's just
George
not Shanahan's
Kittle-
style.
Yeah, George Kittle, Juice are in there. Like, wait, you're taking out the guy who's helping us win right now. That's if we're winning, obviously.
Morgan,
but
that's
like-
not even feasible because the fact is Shanahan's not going to do that. He's going to want to continue to win. You're going to change in middle of the season for what? Because the fans don't like Jimmy. Put the other guy in, please. We're 10-0. No, we don't care.
Yeah.
Get him out of here. You know.
but
Shanahan's not gonna
that's
listen
how
to
people.
that.
Yeah.
You got to drive.
yeah,
you
I
got to
just-
keep it going.
Yeah, I can't see it happening.
Mm.
And I mean, who knows how good Jimmy can play this year, right?
Especially if he stays uninjured. Jimmy
Yeah,
knows that
that's
system now.
I think that's the only thing we're
Second
worried
year.
about, right? The
Yeah.
injury, because
Well.
I mean, every time he's on the field, we're winning.
Yeah. He's got Alex Mack as his center now. Now, you know what? That's going to take everything up a level because now you got a guy that can diagnose defenses and tell that quarterback what's going on. Unlike any center we've had, other than Weston Richburg, who did a great job
last
too.
year,
But Mac,
we were playing with our third string center.
Yeah, fourth at times.
Yeah. So I expect Jimmy to have a huge upgrade this year, especially if Debo and Ayuk are on the field at the same time, both
and they're
healthy.
ready and ripe and ready to roll. Tell you what we're gonna do. Hey, Morgan, I'll be back Friday looking for you. All right.
All right, Rombo. All right, sounds good.
Good to hear from you again. We missed you a couple of times. All right, Morgan.
I've been working.
All right.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Good night. Hey, Steven.
Ronbo.
Steven, come on in, man. It's the Kumbaya session. We got to run all the way until next week as we try to maintain sanity between now and draft night. Hey, Steven, the options are all over the place. I listed a few, but Steven, are you, the premise of tonight's program is, are you going to be shocked or surprised or prepared for that come next Thursday night?
Ronbo, from what I've seen from the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they're always about the unexpected. Always. They never go with what the media tells them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, they're going to pick this. But so I know the subject of tonight is, are they going to be able to do it? My thing is who they're going to pick or if they're going to stick to it. If they draft Justin Fields, my biggest concern is our O-line. Because I've seen him take some nasty hits in college from Clemson. He took a blindside hit from Clemson. He took another nasty hit. I can't remember from who. He was down for the count for a good minute. He was shaken up.
Oh.
But, in the NFL, you get hit hard. Like you get taken out. You get people trying to blow out your ankle, blow out your kneecap, whatever it may be.
Get them grown man hits. Exactly.
My biggest concern is fortifying that offensive line if we pick up Justin Fields, only because that seizure factor, and that also might not guarantee that he might be healthy as well. As a kid, I used to have it and I grew out of it. That's a possibility.
Oh, you're one of the guys they're talking about. I didn't know that was possible. Good for you.
So I used to have it as a child, and it could be triggered by many things: stress, a high fever. It could be flashing lights. Lack of sleep, and with him learning Kyle Shanahan's book, regardless of how familiar he is with Shanahan, if there's a lot of stress on him, that could trigger it. If, they're playing in the, the Superdome and they do the flashing lights, or I think we play against Baltimore. I don't think we do.
Right?
But
flashing
if we do,
lights too.
so, just having those flashing lights in his face, that could do it. Taking a really nasty hit that knocks him out, that could also do it. To me, Ronbo, that makes me love him a little bit more, but, he's a very 50-50 quarterback at this point. He could either do really great and be the best QB we have out there, or he could, be a liability. Nothing against him. He's a phenomenal quarterback. But if I'm going to play it safe on the business end, I'm going to go for Trey Lance. I'm going to go for Trey Lance. I love Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. Shea Lewis is probably going to hang me by my neck, but
don't mess with Shay.
But I safety wise, precaution wise, I got to go for Trey. It's just the best option in a kind of tight knit situation. Now, if they, so let's say draft comes and the Jets pick up, Trey Lance before we do, then we obviously go for Justin Fields, fortify that offensive line, make sure, he's, crossing his T's and dotting his I's and making sure he stays healthy.
Steven, no matter what you do with the offensive line, there's going to be slips. I mean, Michael McGlinchey is that accident you're talking about waiting to happen. Mike's a good ball player, but he's going to have his moments, and it's going to get breached. So, you can't have that risk. If it's like that. Flashing lights, we get to New Orleans, and they know about what you just said. They got lights flashing unusually often on that night, because people are evil when it comes to big money. So, it's a scary thing.
And if you're trying to get a dub, man, everything goes out the window. If you're going to get a dub, they're going to go after you. That's how it is. That's a very cutthroat kind of, dog-eat-dog world. But if we get him and we fortify everything and double down on the offensive line, we could have our own Patrick Mahomes. If not, and we pick Trey Lance, think about it. The kid's, 19? Dude's phenomenal. He's
20
strong.
now.
He's
He'll be
sturdy.
21
No injuries.
Well, his
He'll be
birthday's
21?
I think his birthday's
Or will he be 20?
this month. Or, no, last month. Oh, he's 20. He's going to be 20 going into the season. His birthday's in March, I think. So he's already had his birthday.
So
and now he's 20 or 20.
we're looking at a win-win on both sides. Except Fields is a little bit, like I said, a liability, but we still have talent. We still have that property of doing well. Because if we all see the writing on the wall. 49ers are going all in. They're going all in, bets, double, everything. If they don't do it
you
this
see those
season,
sign-ups today? 49ers aren't playing. They're going for it this year. Yeah,
they're not playing. They had a chance to sign Frank Gore and bring him back, and they said, you know what, nah, go ahead and do your retirement. We're going to go ahead and get the dude from the Giants. We're doubling down,
Frank,
and we're throwing it all out there.
Jesus. Could have used Frank. But, you got the guy from the Giants. You even took a risk on Arden Key, who actually has talent. If he gets, I think he's got a booze problem, though. But we'll see.
That's also one thing I forgot to mention. What was it? Justin Fields. So the second caller that called earlier about the whole issue with the other QB from Georgia Tech, that's a real thing. That was a legitimate thing. That's why he left. And it's funny because he tweeted some shade at that QB saying, "Oh, I may take a swing, but I never miss my shots," and he ended up winning the whole thing.
I like it. Steve, we're going to run out of time, though. Thanks for clearing that up.
You take
I
care,
was
all
wondering
right?
if there's anything more to that story than that. That says it all right there. All right, Stephen. We'll see you Friday if you get a chance. All right. Thanks, fam.
Bye.
See, that's the thing about this world, You really got to have a thick skin to get from point A to point B, from the cradle to the grave, damn near. Hey, Salvador!
Hello?
Sal. Hey, Sal, right here, man. So, Sal, man, we've been going, and in fact, for many years I've known you, we've been going through this for a long time. The draft night 49ers Red and Gold Draft Night Surprise. That could be a drink or a food dish at your favorite place, The 49ers Red and Gold Draft Night Surprise, and then they bring you something like you don't expect. It's not a hamburger. It's not lasagna. It's not pizza. It's not a steak. It's you never know what it's gonna be. Okay. Give me the Red and Gold surprise, draft night surprise. So you get there getting all excited because you don't know what's coming. We're going through that now, Sal. Are the 49ers going to pull that? Yeah. Is what I want to know. Is it going to be pretty much what everybody expects? No. But yeah, Are you prepared?
Well, I really hope we don't really go too off script since the whole situation since we traded up to 3 is to get the quarterback. So if we go really off script, it's going to cause a fucking firestorm. But like the previous caller has said, the previous callers, they say, we stick to our board. We're all about surprises. And that is a big thing. We stick to our board. If we felt like there's a talent that helps us win the Super Bowl or is like a key piece for the future, it's definitely worth all those picks. Don't, like I said as soon as the trade happened, don't get caught up in the numbers and how many picks it is. It's 2 first rounders. That's it. That's worth it for a starter. I would have gave up if we were down at 20 or at 30. I would have gave up 2 first round picks for Nick Bosa. Yeah, he fell in our lap at number 2. So, same situation. We feel there's a player with the same type of talent, like Fred Warner. Not Fred Warner because he was a later round pick, but that proven talent, we go get him. So now let's talk about Trey Lance.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, but those guys, that was a hit because, that was a hidden gem. So those guys, we developed them.
They can hang their hat on that. That's John Lynch's best pick of this draft. 5th rounder. And Reuben Foster's the worst pick of this draft. Not
No.
Solly T, but Ruben. See, because
Now the
at least
scary
Solly
part
stayed
is
for 4 years. Ruben was out of here so fast, and
Rombo with the first two drafts. I'm starting to look at it. We kind of missed on the first rounders and second rounders. Obviously in 2017 the first rounders are kind of off, and then 2018, it's Mike McGlinchey. He was solid as a rookie, but he hasn't developed. And then I think it was Dante Pettis in the second round. So we missed early, but let's give some props to the team, because in the mid rounds, well, except the third rounders, but whoever's in charge in the fourth and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh round,
give 'em a raise.
Amen to you.
Yeah.
That's probably, and to be honest, that's probably Adam Peters. That's Adam Peters' squad. The whole the guys that don't get really the praise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those guys that we don't really know.
Peter, I think he has his fingerprints on the entire draft, but he gets overruled probably or something like that. Because I agree with you, because he did a great job when he was in Denver. So yeah.
Yeah, but Ronbo, before I get off topic, let me just talk about Lance real quick.
Right.
I really like how he's gonna fit into the system. So one thing about my quarterbacks, or the quarterbacks that we've been getting, pro style, right? Fields can do the pro style, but I really saw him a lot more in shotgun. So and not that we don't do shotgun, but I really like how Lance could run our offense, and of course Mac Jones. But I don't want Mac Jones. I want that boy Lance. Yeah, I want Lance.
From that alone, you've already decided who the choice is between. It's between Mac and Trey, and probably going to be Trey, because he's got because that coming off from center, turning your back to the defense, turning around and firing into a target. Yes,
knowing where to go.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that Jimmy brought to the offense. And I saw him play in 2017. Man, when that ball was coming out of his hand, it was on target. On target. The play action. I love the play action, Ronbo. The rollout. Oh my God, that's what makes quarterbacks so special. When they can just roll out, fake a defense, a DE cornerback coming in your face, and you could dump it to George Kittle on the flats, or sling it 25 yards across the field. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I need. That's what we need the quarterback to do. I'm pretty positive Trey Lance can develop into a model type quarterback for the future. Top 10 quarterback. Last thing, and I'll get out of here, Ronbo. I kind of looked at this while you were talking earlier. Top 5 quarterbacks that succeeded in the past 10 years: Cam Newton, I would say Andrew Luck, and Carson Wentz. That's about it.
Andrew Luck. And look what happened to him though. There's something bad.
Yeah.
He just get hurt worse than Jimmy. Carson Wentz, same thing. He stays. Can you imagine pulling that injury just before the Super Bowl, and Nick Foles comes in and gets all the glory? Oh, is that bad luck?
No, they were gonna win the Super Bowl that year with Carson Wentz. That man was on a mission.
But
he was gonna win MVP that year.
And I think Carson would have loved to have been out there to get that too. Nick Foles. I said, Nick.
I think that year it was a Wentz and Carr. They were tearing it up, and they both ended up hurt.
Yeah. Sal, we got to go, fam. I'll tell you what.
All right.
And hopefully that trend continues with us this year. I'll see you Friday if you get a chance. All right.
Yeah, Ronbo, I'll keep getting back in here. Hopefully, keep the streak going for next week. You're gonna be doing the same schedule next week, or are you gonna pick up some shows?
Maybe even pick it up since the draft is coming up next week. So we'll get plenty time to talk football. All right, fam.
We need more airtime. All right, Ronbo, you take care. Have a good night.
Thanks, Al. You too. And let's go check out and see what Jay has to say. Oh, Jay has no audio. Jay, man. Jay, you know how to do this. Give me some audio, mate. Work on it. Get it right. Get out and bring him in here. The mighty Maury Prince. I say that I'm not sure if Lee's really Maury because he's from New Zealand, though. And I have a thing about the Maury and the All Blacks. And hey, Lee.
Yo, what up, Ronbo?
Lee, man, we're just sitting here tonight having fun with the possibilities of draft night. And we just found out about your guy, I mean, I did. Lee, did you know all the time that Justin had epilepsy?
It didn't matter, Ronbo. It's never affected his game.
Well, I agree. But now the media, let's throw this out there. Why are you doing that? You know, but Justin
Every week, Ronbo.
Justin actually went and did it, though, before he knew they were going to do that.
Every week it's something new in the headlines of Justin Fields, Ronbo. You know.
I know. You're going to hear some scandals soon. Watch.
Yeah, if it isn't, he can't read through his progressions. You know, it's he's not smart enough. You know.
Don't forget about the work ethic.
He doesn't have the work ethic.
That was really funny.
He's the fittest. He's as fit as you can get. Like you see him at his pro day. You know.
Even beyond. The guy's a vegan,
it's just ridiculous, Ronbo.
How
What they come
responsible
off
can a
in the
man
media.
be? You know, and you're going to say these things about him?
I've said from day one, Robert, I don't know who they're going to choose. You know, Carl's going to go with who he likes. You know, and obviously John and Peter are all going to have their Adam Peters are all going to have their input. You know,
I'm
and
still arguing.
we're going to find out on draft day who we choose. Like I said, you know, I like Justin Fields.
He's a good player.
I know a lot of people. All the hype seems to be around Trey Lance now, Ronbo.
I know it's picking up, isn't it?
Yeah, ever since his pro day. And I know a lot of people think, you know, oh, yeah, it's Trey Lance because you can sit there, you can give him time to learn under Jimmy. But I just feel, how does that help us win now, Ronbo? We've got a team built to win now. If you're drafting Trey Lance, he's going to sit on the bench behind Jimmy. So how's that helping us win? You know, having a quarterback sit on the bench isn't helping us win a Super Bowl. It's no help to Jimmy at all.
If anything, he does need time to learn, but Jimmy's probably going to be fine. The thing is, though, you don't want Jimmy next year because they're not going to sign him and give him big bucks. So no matter what, Jimmy was leaving in 2 years or 1 year. So that comes down to Kyle just wants to know if whoever they're bringing in, can he do it? And how soon can he get it done? Because Kyle's not about to change things if it's not helping, right? So if Jimmy's going out there and we go start off the season 10-0, Kyle ain't changing, no matter how good he is, right?
No.
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's
I don't think Trey Lance has experienced or seasons enough to beat Jimmy out in his first year, Ronbo. And that's my point. Like, how is he going to help us win a Super Bowl? Because we should be trying to win the Super Bowl now or next year. A lot of the guys we bring back are 1 year deals, right? Yeah. So how is he sitting on the bench helping us win a Super Bowl? He isn't, you know? Like, so how can you say, let's go out and draft a guy that's not going to come in and be able to produce on the field to help us win? You're better off drafting a guy like Kyle Pitts and giving him, Jimmy, another weapon that can actually get you and elevate us to winning a Super Bowl. Like, otherwise you're sitting there and you're taking Trey Lance and you're thinking, oh, he's our future. You know, let's let Jimmy go with what we've got now. But as you've seen, like, you've got to keep getting better. You've got to keep making your team better if you're going to win. You know, we've lost players since we were in that Super Bowl. We've lost Defoe's, guys like that. We've lost Quan Alexander's, Emmanuel Sanders, you know.
And we're going to lose some more, too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's a bit of an injustice to Jimmy if you're expecting him to carry us to a Super Bowl, Ronbo, and you're not putting pieces around him.
But the thing is, I kind of wish I knew exactly what is the plan. Because remember John Lynch said, I'm not going through another season with Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard because they're not going to get it done. Yeah. I think from that moment on, they were going to get a quarterback. I didn't know they were going to go to the first round and go up this high. But when you think about it, it had to be that way because Jimmy's not being around for 2 more years, period. He may be around for 1 more year. And that was the plan to begin with. So, you know, I think this was kind of like the plan anyway. In that case, Trey Lance was probably always the pick because of the fact that he's going to take a little longer to incubate.
Yeah, but then if that's the case, Ronbo, if you're betting on Jimmy to win us the Super Bowl, right, this next year, how is he going to win it? You're not giving him any. He doesn't even have an elite number 1 wide receiver. He's got 2 guys, one that's always injured and another guy that's coming into his second year. You know what I mean? You don't have a number 1 running back. You're not giving him the pieces to win, Ronbo. Look at Buccaneers. Look at Chiefs. They're stacked with talent. You're expecting Jimmy to go out there and beat Tom Brady with a way lesser weapons. You're expecting Cole just to make.
Know, right?
Like,
that's a good point.
At least if you gave Jimmy a Kyle Pitts or a Jamar Chase, at least he's got some weapons to combat what he's going to come up against when he gets to the finals. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like Justin Fields and Mac Jones. If you draft those guys, Ronbo, they're probably going to start by week 6 or week 8. Like, they're going to be hot on Jimmy's heel straight away because they're way more seasoned than a guy like Trey Lance. And if you take Trey Lance, to me, that's picking for the future. It's not picking to win now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're not a team.
Jimmy's still got to compete no matter who they bring in. Jimmy's going to still put that kid on the bench. Otherwise, Kyle will go with them. They'll cut Jimmy.
But it's going to be a lot easier for Jimmy if we draft Trey Lance, Ronbo, to start, because he didn't even play last year, you know? He didn't even carry his team with his arm. He was running a lot of the time he was at North Dakota. He had 169. I think he nearly had as many running attempts, Ronbo, as he did passing completions in the 1 year.
How good was his team, though? The guys around him, were they any good?
Who, Trey Lance?
Yeah.
His team they've won 4 straight championships, Ronbo. They're the Alabama of that conference.
So he must have had some pretty good talent. So
he had Dylan Redunz, who probably will go the late second round, right? He's a guy that you could bring into right guard. He had a very good O-line. There's times where he's sitting in the pocket, Ronbo, and it's like there's like a whole field between him and the next defensive lineman that's trying to get to him.
All right.
You know? He ain't going to have that at the 49ers. He's going to have McGlinchey and Brunskill getting folded in half every other play, and he's going to be struggling, what do I do, Kyle? What do I do? And that's where I feel like he's going to be sitting on the bench learning it behind Jimmy. Like, I don't see him beating out Jimmy in year 1, Ronbo.
Oh, God. Lee, this is a good conversation. That's why it ran so quickly. We're out of time. Dang, this is fun.
No worries, Ronbo.
Can't wait to draft okay?
Now. Yeah. Thank you, Ronbo. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, look at Lee making all kind of sense. There is some things to be concerned about. So, fam, well, hey, is this the real big show or the other big show? He says, Lynch and I were making... Big show, the other big show. Thank you for the contribution. I'm not reading that. I almost did. I'm not doing it. You sickie. Fam, thanks for the contribution tonight. I can't wait to see you Friday. We'll talk some more of 49ers football. Hit that like before you go. Oh, God, it's going to get rough from here, fam. Brace yourself. Don't drink a lot of coffee these days going into the draft. It's only going to make you more crazy. Find things to do to relax. Run a marathon. At least the pain will take your mind off of football. It's like when you go to the doctor. You say, Doc, oh, God, I got a real sore throat. The doctor looks at him and says, all right, put your hands up like this. Doctor punches him hard in the stomach. How's your throat feel now? God. Yeah. Fam, I'll see you Friday. I know.